I'm actually convinced that April Fool's Day is not just for humans, but for nature too. Without fail, every season I break out the warm clothes a little bit too early and then count on April Fools to give us the threat of a late season winter storm. All right, everybody, welcome back. It is March 29th, 2021, 10:39 a.m. We're taking a look at our College of DuPage radar website. It has been about a week since we had a video posted. I appreciate everybody who sent me comments wondering where I was, what was going on, had a bit of a family issue to handle. Everything is good. Everyone's healthy. Thank you all so much. The amount of news and weather we are dealing with is on another level lately, especially these tornadoes that took place last week, March 17th through the 18th. I'm sure everybody heard about this situation and some of the insane destruction that took place all along Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, and then this all moved up into the Tennessee and Kentucky areas. And if anyone even took 5 seconds to check Twitter or any of those other social media websites, all you saw were image after image and video after video and report after report of these tornadoes and just all the crazy destruction and stories coming out of that southeast area. In fact, I think they are still trying to determine exactly how fast and what category or EF scale some of these tornadoes reached. You can see right here, one being the strongest all the way down to about number 25. We could see here in Marengo County, where we had winds ranging in these tornadoes from an EF0 at 65 miles an hour all the way up to an EF2, possibly an EF3. We hit about 130 miles an hour near the Pools Crossroads, as you can see right here, number 1, and then number 2 also being an EF2 at 125 to 130 miles per hour. So we could see these were no joke. And with the changing of the seasons, we can expect the southeast to be a common spot to see weather like this, especially in a season where it's been projected for a couple months now. For a while, we've been saying that as we enter the end of March and enter April, we're going to start seeing these significant storms all the way down in the southeast part of the Atlantic Ocean, right off the coast of Florida. We see a lot of low pressure systems starting to form here that eventually lead us into the beginning of hurricane season. So we're starting to see Tornado Alley get lit up by situations where the low pressure systems are swinging into the southeast, or they're coming up from the Gulf and then coming up to the northeast as a nor'easter shape. You can kind of see that here. We're not quite dealing with a nor'easter in this situation, but we could see the constant flow, the low jet stream bringing this weather across all the way from South Texas. You can see here across the Gulf, over across Florida, rain in South Texas, rain over Florida, and now cold rain and possibly some snow on the back end here in upstate New York. So this entire flow here is kind of following a similar path to what we're going to see in the southeast in the next coming month or so at least. And as serious as the past week may have seemed as far as the tornadoes and things like that, which it was, it's not exactly that uncommon. We do have a tornado season. We have a tornado alley. Alabama, Mississippi, places like Kentucky and Tennessee are known for the tornadic activity. And in some cases, it just happens to catch us off guard no matter where you live in the country. We also cannot ignore the fact that a lot of the country is covered in a very big wind warning. These gold colors here covering the Dakotas, you can see, and the other half of the Dakotas covered in a red flag warning, they call it here. You could follow the colors. The pink color is the red flag warning, very, very strong winds, and then the high wind warning in the gold. We could see the north central part of the country stretching all the way down to North Texas, basically in the off space of that atmospheric river that we just talked about. So both of these situations playing off of each other, causing the weather that we're currently getting and that almost nor'easter type shape we're seeing here with the back end snow up into Canada. Not quite affecting the United States with snow, possibly Vermont and Maine, those northern areas of New York. But for the most part, as we come over here and jump over to Sierra, we could see that this nor'easter shape is clearly off the coast now, and that back end is all we really have to worry about as far as this part goes. Now, really quick, to explain the possibility of this snow situation, we need to look at this system here that looks like a bird foot. Now, we're going to take this and go to tropical tidbits, and we have this set for the GFS, and we can see that our flow, just picture that flow from the other radar chart right across this area, Texas, Mexico, from the Pacific across Florida, and then up into the northeast where we have our tumble, or that 9 symbol that kind of represents a possible nor'easter. And as we move forward, you will see our little bird foot, this system right here that we can compare to this. And if we watch over the next couple days into March 30th, we can see the date right here. What we end up seeing is a low pressure kicking up from the southeast. You'll see that in the next couple frames mixed with this cold front, and then in turn we see a possible snowstorm. So we'll move this forward. Here comes that low pressure system right here, followed by a high dip in the jet stream. Perfect situation for a possible snowstorm. And we can see by the April 1st, April Fool's Day, this is no joke, we have a line of snow cut off across parts of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, down into possibly even the Chesapeake Bay. All these key factors are in place, including a low dip in the jet stream. This is the factor that will bring the possible snow. As far as possible amounts go, I don't even want to get into it because honestly, I don't even want to be thinking about this right now, but it is weather and I must report it to you. And again, going back to this tornado situation, one of the more interesting articles I saw was this one, an area covered in snow with the title saying 6 dead as destructive tornadoes cut across Alabama and Georgia. Major severe storm outbreak across the South has generated 24 tornado reports. That is a lot, and it is a direct result of the changing seasons and changing atmosphere, especially in this part of the country. This is also what lines us up for the beginning of hurricane season. When we start seeing the buildup of these low pressure systems right here just to the east of Florida and the Carolinas, even Georgia, we know that we are also going to soon see the Bermuda Atlantic bubble begin to form a little more, keeping those low pressure systems that then come off the west coast of Africa in a certain path, which then brings us right into the beginning of hurricane season, which again has not changed. Our season still does begin on June 1st, but now we will get National Hurricane Center updates from May 15th going forward, based on the fact that over the last 5 to 6 years, more times than not, our first named storm comes in the month of May. So it may have taken a little longer than expected, but we do now have the research beginning in May, which is very important. We do want the entire season covered, and I do believe that is the next thing that will change. The official season, the hurricane season for the Atlantic Ocean, will extend either beginning sooner or ending later. With all that said, that is the video for today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know your time is valuable, and I try to use it in the best way possible. Shout out to Canada. I hope everyone is safe. Be aware of the southeast, especially this time of year where it is the changing of the seasons, where everyone's expecting that warm weather. But with that warm weather comes the severe weather. And after a week of amazing temperatures, we are starting to get reminded of how March can flip-flop in basically just a couple days span. And what sometimes can feel like funny jokes can end up really affecting our lives. Thank you all so much. I will be back tomorrow. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.